Tonight, an historic moment in American politics. Donald Trump criminally charged for allegedly trying to overturn the results of the 2020 election.
An unprecedented assault on the seat of American democracy. It was fueled by lies.
The charges, Trump's response, and where it leaves his new campaign for the White House. Canadian news will disappear from Facebook and Instagram.
They don't want to be regulated.
The dispute between Ottawa and big tech and what it means for you. The viral video that had the internet asking, is that really a bear?
They're like just dead set on, no, that is a person in a bear suit, but that's not the case.
It is a sun bear, and it's at risk.
This is The National with Anita Bath.
Adrian is away. Former U.S. President Donald Trump is facing new charges tonight, and they may be the most serious yet. This time, it's for his efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election. It's not his first indictment. In fact, it's now his third. But this one is hugely symbolic. Federal prosecutors say his desperate efforts to hang on to power after being defeated were criminal. That situation came to a head on January 6th when Trump's supporters attacked the U.S. Capitol as those election results were being certified. Katie Simpson now with a closer look at the indictment.
USA! USA!
The pursuit of accountability for one of America's darkest moments, reaching its most critical point yet. The former president now indicted for his alleged role in historic efforts to interrupt the peaceful transfer of power. Special counsel Jack Smith revealing the specific allegations in what has become the U.S. Department of Justice's largest investigation ever.
Charging Donald J. Trump with conspiring to defraud the United States, conspiring to disenfranchise voters, and conspiring and attempting to obstruct an official proceeding.
The indictment details how Trump allegedly worked with 6 unnamed co-conspirators to cling to power, relying on pervasive and destabilizing lies about election fraud in an effort to overturn the legitimate results of the 2020 presidential election by using knowingly false claims.
Frankly, we did win this election. We did win this election.
All of it culminating in the storming of the Capitol building.
As described in the indictment, it was fueled by lies. Lies by the defendant targeted at obstructing a bedrock function of the U.S. government, the nation's process of collecting, counting, and certifying the results of the presidential election.
In a statement, the Trump campaign said the charges are reminiscent of Nazi Germany in the 1930s, the former Soviet Union, and other authoritarian and dictatorial regimes. The former president has long denied wrongdoing, alleging any and all criminal charges are politically motivated.
This is prosecutorial misconduct, and its primary purpose is to steal another election.
Trump is already facing dozens of charges in New York related to alleged hush money payments to an adult film star, and in Florida over allegations of how he handled classified documents after leaving office. It's also very possible Trump could be indicted a 4th time in Georgia for alleged election interference there. Speculation about charges forcing local officials to ramp up security.
So, Katie, can you walk us through what happens next?
Trump will appear in court on Thursday. The case has been assigned to a judge who's handled several January 6 rioter trials and has imposed sentences tougher than what prosecutors have asked for. So much of this indictment is focused on lies, lies which Trump continues to repeat. False claims the election was stolen are a core part of his re-election campaign. His rhetoric hasn't changed as he takes another run at the White House.
Thanks, Katie. Back in Canada, Facebook's parent company Meta is following through on a threat to permanently block access to news content on all of its platforms. Sarah Levitt now on the rollout, the reaction, and the potential implications for how you get your news.
It said it would, and now it's pulling the trigger. Meta, parent company to Facebook and Instagram, has begun blocking news content to Canadians, a process it says will take weeks.
They don't want to be regulated. They don't want to be forced to pay for news. And they are powerful enough to be able to say, well, we just won't play this game. We'll just leave it.
Something the Canadian government's Online News Act would make them do. It would require companies like Google and Meta to compensate news organizations for posting their content.
Commercial media companies aren't making the money they used to. This is an attempt to say, well, the platforms are making huge amounts of money from digital advertising. They dominate digital advertising. Let's redistribute that wealth.
Let's say you follow CBC News on Instagram. Right now, you'd be able to pick from any of their posts. But in the coming weeks, you might instead see something like this.
The federal government has always maintained its law is meant to bolster journalism in Canada, both big and small. The Online News Act is modeled after a similar law in Australia. There, news was banned by Meta briefly until the government and tech companies struck a deal. Critics say Meta likely doesn't think that's possible in Canada.
They, if anything, are more likely to stand firm on this than what we saw in Australia, where there was an opening to negotiate with the government. Here, there really isn't much to negotiate with the government. The law's already passed, and the government keeps doubling down.
And the battle continues. In a statement, Meta Canada's head of public policy says the Online News Act is based on the incorrect premise that Meta benefits unfairly from news content shared on our platforms. Heritage Minister Pascal Saint-Onge fired back, saying this is irresponsible, continuing with, if the government can stand up for Canadians against tech giants, who will?
Now, Sarah, this decision from Meta obviously has an effect on CBC as a media organization. What is this corporation's position?
Well, CBC Radio-Canada re-echoing in a way what the Heritage Minister said there, saying this move from Meta is irresponsible, that it's an abuse of their market power. In a press release, the corporation said that this move leaves people who rely on the platform for news with unverified sources on their feeds, and they are hoping and asking Meta to reconsider its decision.
Thanks, Sarah. Manitoba is promising changes tonight after yet another crash at an intersection along the Trans-Canada Highway. It's the same place where a crash in June killed 17 people. But as Brittany Greenslade explains, some worry the safety measures don't go far enough.
It's a tragic and familiar scene along the Trans-Canada Highway near Calgary. A smashed stop sign, tire tracks. Families rushing to their loved ones in hospital after a serious crash Monday night.
A vehicle heading southbound entered the intersection, wanting to make an eastbound turn. At that point, struck a vehicle.
Both then hit a third. 3 people were rushed to hospital, including a woman in her 40s, airlifted in critical condition. All are expected to survive. But it's bringing back painful memories. Just steps away, 17 crosses for the lives of seniors killed in a crash at that same intersection just 6 weeks ago.
A couple of the officers that responded to this collision yesterday were on duty for that incident in June, so that could be a triggering moment for bringing back memories.
6 people from that June crash are still in hospital. This latest crash is renewing calls for change.
And I can tell you point blank that every resident of Calgary has had a close call at that intersection at one point in time or another.
It's one of the busiest uncontrolled intersections along the Trans-Canada Highway in Manitoba. Drivers on Highway 5 need to cross 4 lanes of traffic. The province says pavement markings and rumble strips will be added to the area within the next 2 weeks, and advanced warning signs will be installed shortly after.
We want to make sure that safety is paramount, and making sure that all the people driving through that intersection are safe.
The former mayor of Calgary says there needs to be an overpass. Anything less is a Band-Aid solution that will lead to more deaths.
That's the sad reality of it. It's disconcerting. It's disheartening. You wish that there would be a change.
The province's safety review, which could lead to larger changes, will be completed by late fall. Brittany Greenslade, CBC News, Winnipeg.
After the deadly June 15th crash at that same intersection, Ellen Morrow spoke with truck drivers about their thoughts on at-grade crossings.
What do you think of intersections like this? You drive them all the time.
I don't like them.
I don't think we should have any intersections like this on the Trans-Canada Highway.
In about half an hour, her in-depth look at the safety concerns that have been around for years. In BC, some relief for residents of Osoyoos in the southern Okanagan. Hundreds are now allowed to return home. A change in winds pushed back a wildfire that threatened the town over the weekend after flames jumped the border from Washington state into Canada. Fewer than 200 homes remain under evacuation order. About 1,000 are on evacuation alert. And house prices in many Canadian cities took a bit of a dip after interest rates started to rise, but not in Calgary. It's actually getting more expensive to live there, with prices up 7 months in a row. Anis Hedari explains why.
The Decker family has been house hunting for weeks.
We thought it was going to be way easier. We thought that, yes, the part of getting pre-approved for the mortgage, getting the money, yes, that's the stressful part, right?
Wrong. The stressful part, finding a house at all.
We find that we don't have choices. It's like, yes, there's no house in the market. It's very frustrating.
And this open house was nearly over before it started.
I had 9 offers before I even opened the door for the open house.
Realtors in Calgary say the market is intense.
Everybody wants to come to Calgary, and we just don't have enough houses. And it's the same thing for rental. That is the reason why it's just like, our prices keep on going up, even though the interest have gone up.
Higher interest rates have cooled markets elsewhere, but in Calgary, prices are up 7 months in a row.
And you got to remember that before the pandemic, prices were falling. So you're really just kind of, to some extent, playing catch up.
But that's not the only reason.
I moved here from Toronto.
Ads like this one want people to move to Alberta. Advertisement or not, people are moving from outside the province and outside Canada, but there just aren't enough homes. Economists say high prices from elsewhere are now hitting Alberta.
The higher interest rates that have led to, with the population increase, a lack of apartments, a lack of supply, plus a very big increase in terms of rent inflation, has translated into people moving to Calgary from Greater Vancouver and Greater Toronto. That's undeniable.
Back in Calgary, potential buyers and sellers don't expect things to change soon.
Do you expect the bubble to burst? Because that is what people want to know. And that, my answer is no.
With far more people and far less supply, prices will likely keep going up. Take this house, which sold in mere days for $80,000 over asking. Anis Hedari, CBC News, Calgary.
An Alberta cabinet minister had sharp words for Justin Trudeau. One indication that Canada's housing crisis is straining relations between governments. Marina van Stackelberg shows us how the country got into this crunch and why it's so hard to fix.
This week, the Prime Minister promised $45 million to the city of Hamilton to help build and repair rental units. Now, Alberta wants to know where its money is.
For them to provide more money to one city in Ontario than the entire province of Alberta is unacceptable. We expect the federal government to pony up Alberta's cash that we're owed for those projects.
The province and the mayors of Edmonton and Calgary sent a letter to Canada's new housing minister, Sean Fraser, pointing out only 6 of Alberta's 39 applications for funding have been approved to build just 200 units.
We're the 4th largest province. We have 12% of the population, and we're just not seeing that money come back to us.
Fraser hasn't responded to the letter or CBC News. Justin Trudeau used his announcement to take aim at the Ontario Premier and the previous federal Conservative government for not doing more, he says, to deal with the housing crisis.
I'll be blunt as well. Housing isn't a primary federal responsibility. It's not something that we have direct carriage of, but it is something that we can and must help with. That's something we disagreed with our previous Conservative colleagues.
Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre laughed off that attack.
That's funny, because 8 years ago, he promised he was going to lower housing costs. It's also funny that the biggest housing agency in Canada, CMHC, is federal. Mortgage insurance, federal. Taxes, fiscal and monetary policy, federal, federal, federal.
All 3 levels of government are responsible.
This former City of Ottawa housing director turned urban planner says no level of government has been serious about housing policy for decades.
And then with the problems that we faced throughout the pandemic and now following the pandemic, we just were not equipped to respond and deal with those. So there are no easy answers now.
To make homes more affordable could require driving down their prices. But many government policies are designed to prevent that, because lowering the value of a home where so many middle-class Canadians hold their wealth is politically unpopular. Marina von Stackelberg, CBC News, Ottawa.
A Calgary medical clinic has stopped its plan to charge membership fees for patients. The province and Health Canada say it breached the Canada Health Act, and last week, Danielle Smith says the Marda Loop Clinic would be shut down if it went ahead with its plan. The clinic promised that patients who paid fees would have faster access to a family doctor. An adult would have had to pay $2,200 per year, $4,800 for a family. And frustration tonight for thousands of transit riders in several Canadian cities. They're fed up with delays on major routes, most fairly new or still under construction. Rafi Boudjikanian explains what's going wrong and the potential blow to ridership.
For 2 weeks now, it's been this instead of the LRT for Ottawa commuters. Express buses subbing in for a train that does not work.
Yeah, it's just way too much. I mean, you have to wait for a long time. My daughter is starting a new job tomorrow, and we are doing a dry run today.
The problem? Restraining rails meant to prevent derailments have been activated during normal operation. That needs to be fixed, and the wheel hubs need a redesign. The line has only been open for 4 years.
I know this has been very frustrating for our customers. However, we continue to make progress to fix the disease, not the symptoms.
Montreal had its own recent transit woes. Officials there previewed a new electric train network last week. Then on its first day of full service, it broke down twice. Toronto is years behind an expansion of its LRT. In Edmonton, a new light rail line was supposed to open more than 2 years ago.
Yes, if you only look at those projects that are facing some problems, you'll find a handful of them. Public transit is a very reliable way of moving people around. In fact, it's the most efficient way.
But that's only when it works. Ottawa's Confederation line has had trouble before. In April, there was such an ice buildup, firefighters were needed to get passengers off a stopped train. Observers say repeated problems erode faith in the network.
Negative experience have a stronger impact on our choices, our behavior, than any positive one. A person could have, half a year of excellent public transport and have one day that's terrible. And if you ask them, it's like that day might stick out.
City of Ottawa officials hope the train will be up and running by mid-August. If this latest estimate comes through, the LRT will have been down for almost a month. Rafi Boudjikanian, CBC News, Ottawa.
The first of 3 flights carrying French and European nationals left Niger today after last week's military coup. Hundreds of people gathered to board a French military plane. About 300 made it on. Niger's borders have been closed to commercial flights since the democratically elected president was ousted last week. There are growing concerns about the security situation in that country. A prison sentence for Myanmar's former leader Aung San Suu Kyi has been reduced. State media says Suu Kyi was pardoned on 5 of 19 charges and her 33-year sentence reduced by 6 years. The Nobel Peace Laureate had been detained since the military seized power in 2021. And in China, at least 20 people are dead, including 11 in Beijing, after the biggest storm to hit the region in years. As Sasha Petrusik shows us, days of torrential rain resulted in mass evacuations and daring rescues.
Bewilderment in Beijing as cars bob and float downstream. What are we supposed to do, he says. It's ferocious. The waters, fed by an average summer's worth of rain in a single day, have swept Beijing, especially the outskirts. Neighborhoods are drenched, people trapped, missing, and even dying. In this village, they're saved by zip lines. More than 120,000 have been evacuated so far, with millions more stranded by impassable roads, despite brigades of bulldozers. We've been clearing the debris for the past day and night, he says. It's all from the remnants of Typhoon Doksuri, passing over northern China. weakened as it's moved inland, but still bringing the biggest storm Beijing has seen in modern history. With military choppers to deliver food and water, China has been mobilized. State media highlights citizen bravery, like the story of one man trapped inside his rolling runaway car, later found floating to be rescued by a crane. But in this capital, it's the determination of government that counts the most. So a flag-raising ceremony to mark the official anniversary of the army goes ahead on Tiananmen Square, even in mid-typhoon, with more rain approaching. Sasha Petrusik, CBC News, Toronto.
A gesture of cooperation today between workers and management at a major Toronto grocery store chain shut by a strike.
Both sides have said, let's make sure that it gets to people that need it.
How they work together for a good cause, next. Plus, still basking in the glow.
Oh my goodness!
I think the weight of it definitely hit me post-tournament. You know, what it's meant to a lot of people.
Nick Taylor opens up about bringing home the Canadian Open for his country. And later.
This is by far the weirdest type of bear you'll ever see.
The bear everyone is talking about, and some are doubting. We're back in 2. In India, rescuers are still searching for survivors after a crane collapse. 27 workers were building a bridge when it happened. At least 17 have been killed, and there are fears more people are trapped under the debris. One of Canada's biggest food banks is getting a boost tonight, and it's coming from one of Canada's biggest grocery chains, which remains gripped in a labor dispute with thousands of workers. Ithil Musa now with the deal they reached and how it's helping people in need.
While Metro Grocery Store and its workers remain at odds at the bargaining table, the two have agreed to one thing.
Both sides have said, fundamentally it makes sense that all of the food, the fresh food, let's make sure that it gets to people that need it.
The grocery store chain is donating much-needed perishables to the Daily Bread Food Bank, while 27 of its stores across the Greater Toronto area remain closed as workers continue to strike. Workers rejected a tentative agreement last week. Their union, Unifor, says Metro needs to come back to the table with better pay for workers who say they can't make ends meet.
The inflationary pressures are absolutely central to this moment.
Some experts say lower wage earners are pushing for better pay in industries that have experienced big profits. A study released by Canada's Competition Bureau in June found that Canada's 3 largest grocery companies, Loblaws, Sobeys, and Metro, collectively reported more than $3.6 billion in profits last year.
There's something, unsustainable and arguably unethical about asking workers to, work in the context of a city they can't afford to live in, and to make profits for a store or a sector whose products they can't even afford to buy.
Some Metro customers agree.
Hopefully they get a deal that works well and helps these people to make ends meet.
Seeing that the grocery stores are earning, higher profits than they've ever earned before, maybe it's time to share the wealth.
Metro says it's extremely disappointed that workers rejected a deal that was initially endorsed by the union. The grocery chain says it was fair, equitable, and met the needs of workers and customers, while ensuring Metro remained competitive. Ithil Musa, CBC News, Toronto.
Golf fans in this country are still feeling the excitement of Nick Taylor's dramatic Canadian Open win back in June and what it represents for golf in this country.
I'm very proud of the fact that I could be the person to bring it back to Canada.
Oh my goodness!
His conversation with Travis Dunroch is next. Plus, less than 2 months after a deadly crash on a Manitoba highway, another crash at the same intersection.
So you're going 100 kilometers an hour and you got to make the turn onto here and do it without getting rear-ended by other vehicles.
Ellen Morrow on why intersections like it can be so dangerous. The National takes you deeper into the stories shaping our world next. It's been nearly 2 months since a weight was lifted off the shoulders of Canadian golfers after Nick Taylor sank an incredible putt to clinch the Canadian Open in the most dramatic of fashions. The victory made the BC-based pro the first Canadian to win our national championship in 69 years. Travis Danraj caught up with Taylor to talk about that historic moment and whether the scale of his accomplishment has finally sunk in.
Good pace. Are you serious?
The thought there wasn't make this. I'm sure subconsciously was please make it or go there, but it was gauging the speed, pick the best line possible, and just free yourself up, and luckily win. See ya.
And it's in! Yes!
The drought is over! Nick Taylor with the eagle, the 2023 RBC Canadian Open champion! History! History!
I want to start by asking you about this beautiful piece of silver here. What does this represent to you?
Man, I think it's a lot. It represents a lot of years of obviously hard work with golf. I think it represents a lot of history of Canadian golf and trying to win it for your country. You know, I'm very proud of the fact that I could be the person to bring it back to Canada. So it means a lot, you know, very deep in a lot of levels.
Was all of that weight on your shoulders when you hit the course, or did that kind of hit you afterwards, the historic nature of all of this?
When you're in the moment inside the ropes, I'm not really thinking about that per se, but I think the weight of it definitely hit me post-tournament. You know, what it's meant to a lot of people.
How has life changed since you won this?
You know, not a whole lot. I've said this before a lot. Like, I'm still changing diapers when I'm home, and it's very much early mornings with both our kids now. But you know, I've been recognized a few different times at maybe airports, and you know, it's fun to be at golf tournaments now, hearing 70-foot putt cheers or a lot of congratulatory from other players and caddies. So that part's been a lot of fun.
I was watching an interview you did on CBC News Network right afterwards, and you said, "I still feel like I'm up in the clouds." So have your feet touched the ground yet?
If they are, it's still tippy toes probably. I think it's, you know, looking back, seeing, the replay, thinking about again what it means to a lot of Canadians, Canadian players. Yeah, I think it's going to take a long time to really register, but having time to be at home and reflect has been nice to kind of look back on it.
This, of course, have you watched this since?
I have seen the footage, yeah.
You have seen the footage, okay. Let's watch this, and then I want you to tell me what was going through your mind.
Good pace. Are you serious? Oh my goodness!
I've told people I don't remember throwing the putter. I think it was, a blackout type of, I don't really show the kind of motion that I did really that whole week, with fist pumps, with the crowd. The energy was just unbelievable.
Did you know from that point that you would make it? Or at what point did you realize that was going to go in?
I think when it disappeared was the first time that it maybe registered. I felt like, when seeing the video, you can see probably the split second of shock that it actually did go in.
Well, yeah, let's continue playing it here because the reaction is incredible too.
And it was just kind of one of those moments that I'll never forget.
And then?
Adam Hadwin with the champagne bottle to go spray his buddy Nick Taylor gets de-cleated.
They just tackled Adam Hadwin.
Did you realize that tackle had happened or no?
In the corner of my eye, I did, but yeah, that was kind of a cherry on top.
So what did he say to you when you talked to him eventually?
I also asked if his body's doing all right, because that was a heck of a tackle. But, he was so good. He was, he's been a big support.
Golf is known as kind of a buttoned-up, very quiet golf clap sport. That was not the situation there. Tell me about that, and when, if you fed off that energy.
100% I did. It was, again, I think golf is getting to that state. I think to get more people into the sport is where golf tournaments are trying to go. The rink hole has been an amazing addition to the Canadian Open, and it's just been a lot of fun to have that atmosphere out there.
I want to talk about your wife, because I understand that you credit this historic win with a pep talk that she gave you. Tell me about that.
So yeah, we were, that was, at the time, it was maybe 5 or 6 weeks post our daughter Harper being born.
Yeah.
It was kind of hard for me I wanted to be away playing tournaments that I love, but also it was very hard to leave them at home. And she just saw some of the footage of the Thursday when I didn't play particularly well, and she said, hey, it looks like you're having no fun. Like, we're fine at home. Just go and kind of change your attitude a little bit. I knew my game was where I needed it to be, per se, but just that switch and kind of kick me in the back to kind of like, hey, go have fun. We're home here. We're totally fine. And it obviously helped a lot.
I know one person that this might not have happened without is Luke Bogdan, who I talked to at length on Friday.
Okay.
He gave me some interesting stories, by the way. But he also said you're very competitive, and I guess at Mario Kart as well. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Because I heard on your Twitter it said for the longest time that you're like what are you, top 5?
Yeah, that was an arbitrary. I made that up. But yeah, we played a bunch of that in college with a good friend Kevin Spooner and other teammates on our golf team.
And he actually told me this. He said, the best competitor in Nick comes out when it's a huge crowd, when it's thousands of people watching, when the pressure is on. How do you find the calm in that storm to focus?
That's a good question. I don't know if I can nail one thing down to it. I think, I kind of relish being in those moments. I think over the course of the career, it's kind of those moments you want to be in. And so, I had a chance to win. I felt like I was ready to hopefully do it. And sadly everything turned out. But yeah, I've always just enjoyed being in those and trying to have pressure-packed shots and try to pull them off.
I want to talk to you about kind of the dominant issue right now when it comes to golf, and of course that is the controversy with LIV.
The PGA Tour and its European counterpart announced plans to merge with their rival, LIV Golf, the upstart Saudi-backed league.
It's paid massive amounts of cash to entice some of the world's top golfers to leave the PGA Tour.
If it's purely for money, it's not. It never seems to go the way you want it to.
Rory McIlroy said that even if LIV was the last place to play golf on earth, I would retire. That's how I feel about it. How are you grappling with this personally?
I've sided with Rory on a lot of his opinions of what's been going on. I've always supported the PGA Tour. And right now there's so much uncertainty, which I think is what's frustrating for players and people involved around the entire sport, is we just don't really know what's going on, and time will tell with that. But
do you have concerns about Saudi money in golf?
Like I said, I feel like I've always supported the PGA Tour and their stance. And I think that's why when this had come out, it was puzzling, confusing, frustrating, kind of all the above. And now almost like we have no choice. So, like I said, I've sided with Rory on a lot of his opinions. There's so many questions I have those same questions that we don't have answers to, and I think it sounds like it's inevitable.
And last question to that kid that might be watching. It's 12, 14 years old, that does have big dreams. What's your advice to them?
I think anything's possible. It's if you put your head down, obviously there's a lot of hard work in anything that you want to achieve, but if you have a goal and want to achieve it, like I said, I think anybody can do it.
Travis joins us now from Toronto. Travis, an incredible journey for Nick Taylor so far. I got to say I'm pretty proud because we are from the same hometown of Abbotsford. What's next for him?
Yeah, I know that. Very cool being from the same town. Well, what is next, Anita? He's headed stateside next week to Memphis, Tennessee, where he'll compete in the FedEx St. Jude Classic. And get this, the total purse for this competition, an eye-popping $20 million US.
Wow. Okay. And speaking of big money, there's an update on that potential merger between the PGA and Saudi-based LIV Golf.
Yeah, that's right, Anita. We learned this afternoon Tiger Woods has been appointed to a new role with the PGA as merger talks continue. He and others have been calling for more transparency when it comes to any future deal. Now, Woods says that he wants to make sure the PGA always lives up to its mission of being a player-driven organization. Anita?
Thanks, Travis.
Thanks.
Coming up, another serious crash at the same Manitoba intersection that took the lives of 17 people back in June.
We've only been here for a few minutes and we've already seen a couple of near misses.
Ellen Morrow spoke with some drivers back in June when there were already calls to improve safety. Manitoba's premier says signage, rumble strips, and pavement markings will be added or refreshed at the intersection along the Trans-Canada Highway where 17 seniors were killed in June. The changes come after another crash in the same spot sent 3 people to hospital on Monday. That crossing and others like it are known as at-grade intersections. Just after that horrific crash in June, Ellen Morrow spoke with some drivers who know firsthand how dangerous those crossings can be.
How have you been feeling the past few days?
Heavy.
Truck driver David Henry takes us to an intersection on a rural stretch of the Trans-Canada Highway just outside Winnipeg.
So you're going 100 kilometers an hour, and you got to make the turn onto here and do it without getting rear-ended by other vehicles.
These crossings, known as at-grade intersections, are so common on the highway across the prairies.
What do you think of intersections like this? You drive them all the time.
I don't like them. I don't think we should have any intersections like this on the Trans-Canada Highway. I think it should all be cloverleaf interchanges, but realistically, that's not going to happen.
David has driven through Carberry, now scarred by this horror countless times.
How did you feel when you found out that the crash happened at that particular intersection?
Oh, it makes sense. Like it's not a shock in that way, but to have so many people killed, that's horrible.
The bus they were traveling in and a semi-truck colliding at this at-grade intersection. Police say the truck had the right of way, but there are few other details about the crash.
Just standing here watching the traffic, it's so clear why this is such a difficult intersection to navigate. We've only been here for a few minutes and we've already seen a couple of near misses, including one where a tractor-trailer truck was trying to cross on the other side of the highway like that truck just did behind me, but it blocked part of these lanes, so another truck had to veer quickly around it.
The intersection has a history of tragedy. An elderly couple dead after a crash there in 2005. So many others injured over so many years. For Winnipeg musician Justin Van Dam, this latest crash dragged him back to the loss of his own grandparents. Percy and Noreen Shepherd, their lives taken in a collision at a similar intersection just east of the Carberry disaster 24 years ago.
My grandpa Percy, he was a former Anglican minister with a big booming voice and a great sense of humor, very cheeky. And my grandmother Noreen, she was a really kind woman, and the two of them just were so in love.
How do you feel that it is that same stretch of road and a similar set of circumstances?
When you see a trend of something negative happening, it's on policymakers to address it. And I think we've kind of normalized to an extent how dangerous it can be.
Local officials in Carberry have raised concerns about the intersection before. Calls are growing now for a redesign or traffic lights to improve safety. It's unclear if this crash will force any action.
We always review the situation, and we'll make sure that we do a study and to make sure we do, making sure that if there's anything else we can prove in that intersection, we will definitely look at that.
We head to the Manitoba Professional Truck Driving Championships days after the crash. Some of the province's best drivers navigating complicated skills challenges. What do they think of the highways they drive on every day?
We have to be so much more on the ball than anybody on the road. Just because of our weight, our length, there's not much you can really do about all the intersections.
Dave Phillips has been a driver for 32 years.
Having lights and flashing lights and stuff like that, I mean, you're talking billions of dollars because you would have to do them at every single intersection that crosses the highway.
That reality means these intersections, the hazards that come along with them, are unlikely to change.
There's going to keep being fatalities. There's fatalities all around these highways. Nobody's really wanted to talk about it much.
David Henry says many in the driving community are now struggling, their hearts broken for both drivers and the lives lost in Carberry.
It doesn't matter who's at fault. It doesn't matter. It's going to be something they have to deal with for the rest of their life. It's really, really tough.
6 of the people injured in that June 15th crash are still in hospital. Meanwhile, the province says its safety review of that intersection is still underway. Coming up, this bear standing tall at a zoo in China is going viral. Why some doubted whether it was actually a bear or just a really good costume. Plus,
come on, good boy. Atta boy, ride time.
we'll show you the Canadian pug that's making waves online. That's coming up in our moment. Communities across Canada today marked Emancipation Day, 189 years since slavery was banned across the British Empire. In Toronto, it was with music and dance, while the Pan-African flag was raised outside of Halifax's City Hall. Well, a viral video from a zoo in China has captured the world's attention. It had people questioning whether a bear was actually a human in a costume. But as Mira Bain shows us, the answer did more than just dispel rumors. It created a teachable moment.
This video from Hangzhou Zoo in eastern China might make you do a double take. A sun bear standing on its hind legs, setting the internet on fire with speculation.
People think this zoo is using a human in a bear costume.
This is by far the weirdest type of bear you'll ever see.
The zoo quashing rumors with a post from the bear named Angela's Perspective. Some people think I stand like a human, and it seems that you don't understand me that much. Let me emphasize again, I am a sun bear. Indeed, a zoo in the UK posted this video of a sun bear named Kyra, confirming the bear is behaving normally.
It's normal for a sun bear to have that really saggy skin when they stand up, and it kind of does look like someone that's in a bear suit.
Smelling and standing is not unusual for the animal, known for a unique patch of golden fur on its chest, resembling the rising sun.
But a lot of times they will have that position where they stand up really tall and they put their head out, and that's really, they're taking in the smells.
The controversy has put a spotlight on the rare bear, which is a vulnerable species found in Southeast Asia.
Sun bears are one of actually the second rarest of the bear species, besides that of the panda. And sun bears, unfortunately, are victims of the pet trade.
What was supposed to be a lion was actually a barking dog.
This isn't the first time zoos have been accused of displaying fakes. In 2013, there was international coverage of a zoo in China that allegedly tried to pass off a dog as a lion. And 5 years ago, in Egypt, a zoo faced accusations of disguising a donkey with paint to resemble a zebra. For now, the Hangzhou Zoo seems to be more than happy to show off its sun bear. Visitors are up as much as 30% since that video went viral. Mira Baines, CBC News, Vancouver.
This is Levi, a 3-year-old pug. He's been living his best life while cottaging in Alberta this week and showing off a very special skill. See, he loves to go kneeboarding, and the videos have made him an instant star with millions of views on TikTok already. So tonight, Levi, the aqua pug, is our moment.
He just loves it. He leans and he moves pretty well with the waves, so yeah.
One day we went kneeboarding and one of my friends jumped off and he jumped on and we just let him go and he just hanged on.
Good boy, get on, come on, good boy.
He just jumps on.
Yeah.
He cries, like if we're in the boat, Brock and I are driving, he will cry until we let him on the tube. So yeah, and then the kneeboard, it was like, yep, he's got it. And he leans with the tube, and it's crazy.
I think he likes it because he just sees us doing it and he likes to be really active.
Whoa, he can swim, eh?
We've seen him do lots of things.
He rides on the quad.
Yeah, so yeah.
He's rode on Ethan's skateboard.
Yeah.
He toboggans. He just does everything the family does.
When he falls, he just swims back to the tube. Oh, snap!
On the life jacket, had a little handle, so we just suitcase him out.
He shakes off and
He
he's
shakes
ready
off
to go
and then,
again. Thought everyone's dog kneeboard is, but I guess not.
He's giving the water skiing squirrel a run for its money, that's for sure. A lot better than most of us can do, I think. That's The National for August 1st. Have a good night.